Hey everybody, this is Fumi from freespiritofumi.com, and a lot of you are coming from Black Women Moving On. Now this video is actually for my beautiful ladies who have their own blogs, who have their own Facebook pages. And when I mean Facebook pages, I mean like an actual page for their blog or actual page for their business, especially those dealing with BWE or Black Women's Empowerment, and even for some of you feminists. Just in general, I actually have not had any real trolls. My page, Black Women Moving On, is actually liked. I think 5% of the people who like my page are men, and I've never had a negative comment by a man. I've had a couple comments on my YouTube by men who support what I'm saying, and I don't really have trolls. I had 3 Black women privately message me about something they didn't like. I think one of them I read, didn't care. The other 2 I don't even think I read it. I just kind of read the first sentence and then I deleted and banned them. So this is going to be a guide to help you ladies stay troll free on the internet, especially if you have a YouTube channel, a blog, or a Facebook. I'm just going to speak what I do. Prosperity of Black Woman, her Facebook page, I love her. I love her posts, but I really worry about you because you put out your name, first, last name, and you put out your birthday. And you can do whatever you want, but I really care about you, and I would suggest you take it down. Like, take it down. Take down your birthday and your name. With just that information, these crazy people can, like, if I wanted to, I could figure out where you live. I could literally find out so much about you just by having your first, last name, what state you live in, and your birthday. These crazy people, woman or male, can find out so much about you just by having your first and last name and looking at your videos. And people are crazy, and I don't give out my first and last name. Even my location, is that even my real location? Do I really even live in that state? Do I really even live in that city? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I could be in Illinois for all you know. I could be in Hawaii. I could be anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give out my personal private information. My personal private Facebook, nobody I've met on the internet has access to that. I don't add anybody. I have a fake profile that I made just like to confirm some people for a conference, but I'll never invite any of them. No matter how sweet ladies are, I'll never invite any of you in my private. I just won't. Like, if you're not a real genuine friend, like, I'm not in person. Like, you have to be in person. You have to be someone I've invested in person, no matter how nice you are. That's just, I would never reveal that, and I don't think that you ladies should either. For you bloggers, I would not suggest using your first and last name. I would suggest you pick a nickname that is not close to your name, or maybe it's close and you can't figure it out. Like Fumi, like, you would never guess what my real name is, and it's African. It could be anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll never tell anybody either. I think it's like one person, but you know, outside of her, like, I think that's it. You know, don't put out your first name. Don't put out your location. Don't even put out your state. I mean, I put out my city and state. My actual state is accurate, but my city is not accurate at all. So yeah, don't put out that information, because when some crazy people, like, they'll do background checks on you ladies. They'll do all kinds of unnecessary stuff because you wrote one post and they're mentally ill. So when it comes to the Facebook page, I don't have a lot of my photos out. I don't post photos of my home. I don't post photos of myself. There's like one photo of me, and it's old because, you know, my hair is natural, you know, and it's like, it's an old photo. Actually, it was a photo from a year ago, but it's like, I don't post pictures and updates of my life and all that stuff. And you know what I'm saying? I could be dying from cancer right now. You guys would never know. And it's like, that's how I want to keep it. And I don't have it, by the way, but it's like, you don't need to be telling people your private family business. So don't put photos up of your home. Don't put photos up of you. Don't put multiple selfies. A lot of the haters and trolls, they take your photos and then they make evil memes insulting you. Don't put your children. Don't tell people your children's name. If you have children, I wouldn't even tell people. If you have children, say, yeah, I have a kid, I have a daughter, I have a son. Like, but I wouldn't even say that. Like, maybe I would, but I wouldn't even say their name. I wouldn't say their age. I wouldn't say anything. Your husband, I wouldn't say my husband's name. You know, like, casually, I wouldn't post up pictures of us together. You know, I've been married for about 2 years now, but it's like, I would never, because these are strangers. No matter how nice and how great they are, you can't trust them. And they, you know, I look at it like this. Like, it's a privilege to know me personally, and it's a privilege to know certain information about me. Now, I did not always think like that. Like, I had a journey where I used to be very open, and I never had a Twitter where I said everything, but I definitely was more open about every little thing. I used to run my mouth, and now I just don't do that anymore. And for me, I haven't had problems with trolls, but I see so many of you ladies who have that problem. Like, so many, like, it breaks my heart. Like, I don't have that problem at all. I've had 3 random black women comment to me because 2 of them didn't like the mission of my blog, didn't even respond. Oh yeah, when people inbox you stupid shit, I mean, like, stupid, unnecessary shit, don't even respond. Like, I have a new rule. I read the first sentence. If I don't like the first sentence, I delete it and I ban you. Delete and ban. Why do I delete and ban? Because I don't want to hear from your ass again. It's not a democracy. When somebody posts up like a comment on my page, which barely ever happens, that's like instigating, or like this is the biggest emotionalism that people have. Men and women act like this, but like, I haven't had any males at all act up. So good job, guys. The guys who are online, good job. You guys are awesome. You guys don't cause any problems. But I've only had 3 black women. Only had 2 or 3 black women that I had to ban from a comment because they just internalized way too much, and they'll try to, like, and most people are like, what is she talking about? I've never seen this. Exactly. You don't know what I'm talking about, because that's how quickly I delete and ban people. I do not waste time talking to people that have emotional triggers. I'm not a therapist. For strangers, like, I do have my own coaching, and I do have things that I do specialize in. But if you're not going through my website, freesplitterfilme.com, I am not wasting my time. Like, I really try not to type out paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs to every other person like that I agree or disagree with. So to avoid trolls, you need to have a 1-strike policy. I'm sorry, you need to have a 1-strike policy with these people. 1 strike. The first time they act cray, delete. Don't just delete their comments. Ban them. Block them immediately. Do not add people to your personal Facebook page. Do not give people your personal private information, like your name, your city, location. Lie. More people need to lie. Lie and protect yourself. Lie. I'm in this thing. Nobody needs to know where you live. Nobody needs to know. There are general things you probably know from watching my video, but you'll never know the specifics because I don't give it out, because it's about my safety, because I have my own separate career, my own separate business that I don't want interfering with it. And most of the ladies, you guys are positive and happy, so I'm not even talking about you. But this is something I've seen other bloggers go through and other women on pages deal with, constantly making posts about trolls and stuff. And it's like, I don't have to deal with that because I just... So these are just some things that you can do just to deal with that. Like, ban people, don't put out your information, don't post your selfies. I don't have a Twitter. Do I have a Twitter? I feel like I'll make an account and then I'll never use it. Yeah, if you do have your name out there, if you do have your real information out there, if that's your, like, you know what, I don't care, good for you. Still have that ban policy, and be careful what you write. Another reason why I'm very mysterious is also because I have my own separate professional career that I'm beginning, and nothing that I say that I write, I'm really against saying, if questioned in a responsible manner, but this is my personal way of giving back to my community and helping girls. That's my personal thing. My boss doesn't need to know that. My coworkers doesn't need to know that. Even those who are black women who I work with don't need to know that, because they are not the kind of class of women, some of them, that I want to be talking to. You know what I'm saying? Like, the ones who are meant to find the information, they'll find the information. And the ones who have found it, you ladies have been sharing it to those who you think it will be useful for. And that's how it's going to spread. But I have my own separate identity that soul separate career. You know what I'm saying? I can end up being whatever I want 10 years from now. And I like to keep that boundary. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, be careful what you post. And also, here's a trick to not getting a lot of crazies on your YouTube. For most of my video titles, I usually never do put race in the title. Like, I don't usually use race. I don't talk about race a lot. And when I do talk about race, it's usually, I say non-black, because I'm black and my whole life is through a black lens. I don't target any specific race, because that's how you attract a lot of the crazy trolls. They look for, like, when you put race, black, white, all that stuff, and racist and all that stuff, when you're constantly talking about it and you're putting it in your title and you're putting it in your keywords, that's how they find it. It links to other videos. And if I do type black in anything as black woman, it's positive. My more controversial posts, notice I never put race in it. And when I do, I don't really another thing, this is how you also you don't get a lot of trolls, especially male trolls, and I haven't had any. And I think it's because, for the most part, when I mention men, I don't focus on one group of men. I don't single out the men of our community. Now notice what I just said, right? I just said the men of our community instead of saying ... This way you know who I'm talking about, but I'm not explicitly targeting them. You understand? That's how I talk. I kind of talk around saying things directly. I'll say bigots. I won't say ... bigots. I'll say racist. I won't say ... racist. I'll say non-blacks. I won't say ... women. You know what the dots are. Fill in the blanks. Because I don't say that and I use my English to talk around being direct, it doesn't seem as if I'm being direct and calling out anybody specifically. So that way, even when I have people of other groups come through my videos, it doesn't seem like I'm narrowing in on anybody. And I do that because you know who I'm talking about, but also because I don't really care to hear about any of these other people's opinions. And so the way that you can kind of deal with mentioning other people, groups, genders, and not dealing with a lot of the trolls that come from that gender or race or whatever, is by not directly mentioning them. And this is one thing black people need to learn, is to be less direct. I'm not always direct in my videos, but when I am direct, I make sure I'm talking to black women. I don't be direct and talk to anybody else because my page is geared towards black women. And because I'm not very direct in my wording and I'm not very direct in some of the ways I give my arguments, even though my videos are viewed by men, women of this, and this, I don't get any backlash because it's not offensive, because I'm not targeting anybody. So that's the way you guys can format your videos. And they're like, well, oh, I don't care, I'll do what I want, I'll say whatever I want. I'm like, yeah, but guess what? Now you have to spend 20-30 minutes deleting hateful, evil comments. You got people Googling you, you got people making memes of you. Like, why do you want to deal with that? Like, I don't have time to deal with psychopaths. Like, I really don't. So this is just my advice on how to put videos out there and put posts out there. And that's why I kind of switch from. And also, even with your videos, if you're going to do a controversial video, don't allow comments. If you already know you're going to attract the crazy, don't allow comments in a video. Don't. Yay! Also, with my Facebook page, Black Woman Moving On, I don't even put a link, and I think that's why I don't have a lot of trolls on my Facebook page, because for my videos, I don't put a link to my Facebook page. So when people do see the video, and my videos are always 20 minutes because I want to talk to the ladies that care enough to take the time to listen to get information that could change their life. That's why I make them so long. I could just say ... but it's like we're so used to getting things handed to us. I want you to work for this information. Plus, I'm a chatty person. But still, like, I don't link to my Facebook page. I'll tell you what it is, and not in all videos do I do this, but I'll tell you what it is at some point. So if you care that much, you'll go and you'll type it in. So when people do see things and they're like, I'm too lazy to make a comment because she wasn't that bad, and you're like, oh, I don't know, I'm too lazy to go. I don't remember, what was it again? What was the page again? I don't have to deal with like trolls like seeing my video, oh, I hate you, and then they're like going straight to my Facebook and they're like because I don't link to my Facebook. If you really want to know what my Facebook page is, you'll look at the videos and you'll listen. But when people see 20-minute videos, unless they really want the information, they will not listen, and they're not going to do all that because people are lazy. And for you ladies who do listen, I thank you for listening. And I try, some of these topics are going to be good, some of these topics are going to be old news to some of you who are more advanced in your progression. But yeah, a lot of us, and tell your daughters and your nieces to stop being so transparent on the internet. Like, if you want to go and have an Instagram and a Twitter, because I know you guys do, make your stuff private. Like, stop, like, your inner world is precious. Your inner world is sacred. Stop giving yourself to so many people. Spiritually, conceptually, stop. Like, they don't deserve to get that much about you. And it's like, I had to learn not to do this. A year ago, I was a totally different person. Like, it's so crazy. I swear, somebody at some point, somebody's gonna be like, I knew that girl, and she was nothing like any of the stuff that she's saying. I'm like, you're darn right, I was not nothing like that. And I had to change my life to get to this point, to be able to tell other women, because I didn't read a book and then I'm telling you stuff. This is all changes I had to do for myself. And I was nothing like this. Like I was not, like, people would not even recognize me. Like, they're probably like, how does she know all this? Because I just happened to come to this a lot of these conclusions, you know. Thank goodness. You know, a lot of people want to talk about oracles. You know, when you do, when you do get in touch with your spiritual side, whatever that may be, you almost become like an oracle. You almost become like a, you know, I don't know about prophet, you know, I guess the same thing, oracle, prophet, whatever you want to call. You just see things so much more clearly. Yeah. So yeah, protect yourself online. Don't give yourself access. Don't add people you do not know. Like, don't add these people. And if you really want to connect with ladies online that you don't know, make a fake profile, give it a nickname, and don't put nothing personal on it. So I'm gonna make this one like the shortest video ever, like 15 minutes, and I'm gonna say bye-bye. Okay? So stay safe.